As I mentioned early on, I love this place. I love what it does. I love the passion of everyone here and the work that it does for the community. And I am so proud to be a part of that and so pleased to be on the board. I'm even happier to be part of Ochlie's celebration as she graduates today, because that is a huge accomplishment. So I want to share with you one quote that I have. You are never given a dream without also being given the power to make it come true. You may have to work for it, however. And so that last line is so critical to what you have been doing here at CORRAL. As I listen to you speak and I listen to your father speak, you know, I wish I could say that the work was done, because it's not. The work is your journey, that is true. But as a Black woman, I'm here to tell you that the strength that you've shown to get this far, you will need to continue. You will need it for perseverance, for the patience you talked about that you've learned with the horses, and rising above all things that will work to pull you down. Rising above it is a motto that I have used my entire career. But the beauty of that is you've already learned how to do that through the work that you've done here. You've shown through your successes that you can do that. The one piece of advice that I would impart to you is you have a path right now. You're going through ECU and you want to become a dentist, but don't be afraid of where the journey may take you. You may end up being a lawyer. You may end up being a doctor. You may end up being an actor, for all you know. But don't be afraid of that journey and where it can take you, because the stress of trying to hold on to a path too tightly is exhausting. So that would be my one piece of advice to you. And for all of the ladies of CORRAL, watch her closely. Watch the success stories of these graduates in your midst very closely, because someday this will be you. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about the unprecedented time that we're in right now. Our society is screaming for change and leadership as it relates to race and unrest and systemic racism particularly. Personally, I have never felt so much anxiety about the future of our nation. More importantly, I have a husband and a son and a father that I worry about constantly in this environment. My son, who is 20, every time he goes out, he puts his wallet in plain sight so he doesn't have to reach for it if he was stopped for any reason. I didn't tell him to do that, but he knows to do that. I cannot assuage his fear, my daughter's fear, my daughter's, my own, or even yours as it relates to this. As a leader, though, I do recognize my duty is critical to lay a path for you and the communities that we serve. As a person of color, I cannot stand by and not do something. And I ask for you in Facebook land to do something too. And whatever that something is, make it help move us away from unrest and injustice toward a better outcome for all of us. And I'll talk a little bit at the end of a way that you can help make a difference. Now, the other portion of this, which Ochlie's dad spoke about, is COVID-19. It has really pushed us into some very uncharted waters, including today. So when you think about all that we had to do to improvise, and I was telling Ochlie, this is the way life is. You're always improvising. You're always trying to do something different to make things work. But COVID, I think, pushed us a little harder. Like COVID, my organization that I come from has a very strong, or like CORRAL rather, has a very strong tie to our communities and our citizens, the underrepresented and the unserved. The broadband initiatives that I've talked to through CORRAL, we target our rural communities and our urban communities, and specifically the underserved communities of color that don't have access to rural broadband. It affects everyone before COVID, but even more so now, as we all try to telehealth and remote work and remote learning and plain access to information as it relates to what's coming out from COVID. The lack of this high-speed access puts these areas at a clear disadvantage, puts our girls at a clear disadvantage for the future, and has never been more important. Although COVID has changed our worlds and turned it upside down, CORRAL has always provided services to support these young ladies every step of the way. These programs have, however, been upended by the growing digital divide and the homework gap that exists. CORRAL's summer remediation program is here to provide an extensive program to assist girls in catching up in math and literacy, and it's committed to ensuring the girls don't fall through the cracks, which it could obviously happen in this environment and where we are. As a board member, I see the commitment and the devotion that CORRAL brings to our communities, this community. And I invite you to join me in supporting the summer remediation program and other services that we have here at CORRAL, with a special gift in honor of Ochlie, as well as other graduates in Against All Odds. I think at the bottom of your screen you will see a link to where you will be able to provide a donation, as well as this investment in CORRAL as we are restoring power and access to our girls. And as I mentioned before, as a way to help make a difference in the world right now and where we are, I feel that this is a really good way to do that, and I hope you think so too. You can also use your credit card through the link that's being shared, or you can send a gift via a check in honor of Ochlie and CORRAL's graduates Against All Odds to 3620 Kildare Farm Road, Cary, North Carolina 27518. And before I thank everyone, I want to say again, Ochlie, congratulations. This is an incredible time for you, and this is only the beginning, and I look forward to tracking your progress and what you do, and I hope we stay in communication, because I think you're going to do some really great things. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us and ask Jennifer if she would come up and do the prayer, the community prayer.